Susie here, and in this video, we're going to build your mobile optimized KPI tracker in less than 30 minutes, all inside of Airtable. I've used ClickUp, I've used Asana, I've used Monday, I've used spreadsheets, I've used everything, and Airtable takes the cake for absolutely everything. I built my business out inside of it. This is our Fathom OS automation to create content based off of our client calls, our sales calls, all that stuff. I built out a financial tracking dashboard as well, which connects to all the crypto accounts, bank accounts, investment accounts. I have my entire life up in here. If you want to find somewhere and meet up with me somewhere around the world, it's all inside of Airtable here. It's such a dynamic system. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to build out the KPI tracker with automations, with interfaces, with forms and that sort of stuff. If you have end of day reports, and you're not going to want to miss this because you're going to get a metric crap out of this and see how you can optimize your systems. We don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. So let's get rocking. So they have a lot more AI stuff in here now. The Omni is freaking great. The Builder, not as much. So we're going to build this bad boy from scratch. And without further ado, let's build your KPI tracker. Let me go in here, build it. So you want to start from scratch. Boom. This is going to ask you to build the tracker. Don't do that. Just start from scratch right here. And we're going to go from data to interfaces to forms to automations with no breaks. I can build out a system in about 30 minutes. I would take other people 3 months. So let's do, this is going to be a formula table, but let's just add the date here. So this is the date that it's coming in, and we don't want to include the time. And then what we want next could be responsible, but what we'll do here is add in, let's do income, and we want to use a currency field. Income, create. And let's say if you're tracking expenses, now you can automatically pull from other sources using Zapier or using N8N or Make. And I'll show you that at the end of how to set that up. But let's do the basic KPI tracker here so you guys can start tracking, have beautiful dashboards and all that good stuff. So let's do, boom, live sales calls, boom, boom, and number, booked sales calls, boom, and let's do, so that's booked for today. That's good. And then we're going to, you could add in quality sales calls, that sort of stuff. Let's add in number of new units sold. Boom. And there's not going to be a half a unit. So let me cancel that. Let me discard this, move my face over, boom. And number and units sold. Perfect. Here we go. And let's do a user responsible. Perfect. And put that in there. And let's say single select notes. Boom. And that is good for right now to get that started. So then this is really cool. Not too many people are doing this on the AI side. We can create a formula, and I'm going to ask it through AI. Take the date column and responsible and put a dash between them. And it will create the formula for me. It might need data in there with one of the rows, but let's see. Cool. So now when we put the date in, boom, put the responsible in, boom, and then it will show that. And I can optimize this by saying create from formula, put the date in day, month, year format, and then dash responsible. So then we can create that with AI. Perfect. And that should look a lot better. Sweet. So that looks good. We got the data side rocking and rolling in under 2 seconds. There we go. And let's call this, boom, number KPIs. Sweet. And then we can sort this by date. And we could add in a few things, like let's do another formula. Boom. Create a view of the, what am I trying to say here? A month and year based on the date, written out month and the year in number format. So that didn't even work. Give me the name of the month and the year based on the date. So boom, did that. And it will create a formula. So month and year, sweet. It will even write it at the top, and that's automated based off the date. So we're good to go there. And let's just call this all KPIs. Boom. Sweet. And then let's do a roll up into the month. Sweet. And put a moon there. Perfect. And now we can roll this up into the month. Boom. This is where it gets really cool, and most people screw up on this. So let's connect this to the KPIs. Sweet. And number KPIs. Awesome. I'm going to add a start date here. Boom. Start date. Boom. Add that right here. And let's make this August 2025. I'm going to add that there. It's going to be August 2025. And here's where it gets fun. So let's add in some data here, such as income was 20,000 today. So then in this month, we can do a roll up of the income and money, income, sweet. And we can see 20,000 right there. And let's put units sold as 2. And I can do another roll up. I'm just going to duplicate this. Boom. Roll up. Perfect. And man, units sold. Take this from here. Units sold. Sweet. Now we're rolling up to the individual month. And what I can do here is formula. Give me the month and the year based on the start date. Nope, we got to put that in the AI section. Give me the month and the year based on the start date. Cool, create formula. And then that will automate. From there, preview, that should look good. Okay. Boom. Let's create this one more time. Write out the month and the year based on the start date. Create formula. Boom. Beautiful. Awesome. Now we got that. That's connected. That's great. Let's also roll up, duplicate. live calls. So let's get our show percentage. So phone, live calls, save. Whoop. Got to change what this is filtered by. So live calls, perfect. And then let's get, let's say we had 6 live calls, sales calls booked, sales calls scheduled might be a better name for that. Let's say we had 8 live sales calls, so it should be 75%. So this is huge, 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 this formula function. Let me duplicate this. Boom. And here, calendar, live calls. This is not live calls. This is sales calls scheduled. And sales calls scheduled. Beautiful. And save that. We have 8. Now we can do the formula function of eyes. Show percentage for the month. So this is sales calls scheduled and live calls. Boom. Perfect. And then what we want to do is formatting, percentage, save, 75%. Perfect. So now we're going to be able to see our show percentage on a monthly basis. So let's say we want to see our close percentage. So formula, and we have our units sold, boom, divided by, let's do live calls, boom. Let's do this, not that. There we go, formatting. Give me a percentage of that. And then we will go to the interfaces from here. Once we have the automated data in here, formatting, percentage, sweet, star, close, percentage, sweet, got all that, 33% for closing 2 out of 6, beautiful. So let's do this, sort by start date, perfect. And then if we have June, boom, we can, or July, we can go back there, add in the data, boom, got that. And let's say we have some data from July, boom. And let's do income, 5,000, 2 live sales calls, 3 scheduled, units sold is 1, responsible, boom, and then tie it to July, boom, perfect. And then we'll see the data there for July. So pretty cool stuff. And let's go to the interfaces now. This is where it gets really fun. So let's build it ourselves and start from scratch. Boom. Go to next. And let's do a dashboard right here. KPIs. Actually, we want to pull it from the month. And I'm going to remove this, add in a list view, and then I can see this by the list view. I can add in, boom, the live calls there, boom, start date, perfect. And let's say I want to see this by month or by date, start date, by month, and I want to see the income right here. So I'm going to click on the y-axis and type in income and sum. And now we have an income tracker by month. And I'm going to click out of that, show records on table. So now we can see that. And we're going to give it a nice little title of money income by month. And I can also change these things to a line graph if I want to see it that way, or if I want to, boom, add a different color here, green, perfect, got all that. So maybe I want to see just this current month. So what I'm going to do is add in a number at the top here, boom, number, and do this by money income and filter by start date is within this calendar month. So always update. And I want to do a summary here of the income and sum it up from this month. Boom. Perfect. Let's make this green. And maybe I want to see the duplicate. Check, close, eyes, show percentage this month. And I'm going to change this field to show percentage. I'm going to change the color. And I'm going to put in the subtitle this month for each one. So it's specific this month. Boom. And I'm going to duplicate this, put a star, close percentage. And in here, I'm going to make that yellow and make this close percentage. So we're closing at 33%. And for good measure, let's do units sold. Boom. Units sold this month. Units sold. Let's make this gray. Cool. So now we're creating that nice little dashboard. I'm going to add a filter in here, use a background color, and also maybe I want to search by something and do that. I'm going to be able to open these up as well to see all of the KPIs from that month, what's connected to it. I'm going to drop this down here and make it a view. So I'm going to be able to see, boom, right here, the individual KPIs from that month and what was filled out, which is pretty cool. And then inside of this view, I can move some things around, hide that. Maybe I just want the date, and maybe I want responsible. Boom. Who's filling this out? Perfect. Awesome. There we go. And we're going to make this just a whole KPI view. KPI dashboard. Sweet. So it's not done there yet. It just keeps getting better. Maybe I want an individual KPI view right here. And now here are all the individual KPIs that I can roll back up into that one. So let me do this. Boom. Let's filter background. Make sure that these open up. Maybe a team member is filling out notes and I want to see that there as well. Boom. And we can see the individual KPIs. Now, maybe it's an end of day report where they're filling it out, something like that. And I want to see the bar chart of when these things were filled out. So let me go in here and find the date. And then we're going to go to the forms after this of how these KPIs can be added manually, but they can also be added automatically, which I'll show you at the end how to do that. So we want to see the responsibility. Boom. Check star submitted date. And let's open this up. Sweet. And we want to see who submitted these. So I can do a grouping of responsible. Sweet. And I submitted these too. So that is great. Boom. Now, KPI dashboard. Sweet. Now we have a nice little KPI dashboard right here where we can track all that metrics, all that data, all that stuff right there. But I'm going to come back and optimize this a little bit more after we create the form. So I just clicked form up the top, and this is freaking fun. So you can have individual forms for your salespeople, for yourself, for your CSM, for anybody on your team, and get end of day reports automatically, especially if you're using Slack. It is perfect. So let's go in here, KPIs, put in the date, required field. I can add in helper text, add in today's date. Sweet. And then I'm going to add in responsible. Boom. And I'm going to say choose your name. Choose your name. Perfect. And then I can select, unselect any of these things. How much income did you make today? Boom. There we go. How many live sales calls did you have? How many sales calls were scheduled on your calendar? Boom. How many units did you sell? Boom. And then I can add in the other ones that we have here. So we can automatically connect it to the month up here. Boom. And there we go. So then everything will roll back up into that month. Boom. And end of day report. Boom. What did you do today? What are you proud of? What are you going to improve tomorrow? Boom. And we got version 1 of an end of day report in here for a potential salesperson. I'm going to add that in there. That looks good. That's required. These are all required. So we're good to go. So let's call this sales. Boom. Sales end of day report. Let's put money next to it. And then I'm going to show you how to link it up in Slack. There we go. I might be under the wrong workspace, but let's see if this works. So then anybody from web can get this, copy the link, and then your sales team can fill this out. It can be automatically tracked and rolled up into Airtable, which is pretty dope. And then you can see these, let me go back, see these automatically in Slack. I want to go to view data, and then I'm going to go to automations. I'm going to add a trigger when form is submitted from the KPIs table, the sales end of day report. And then I want it to send a message in Slack. I'm going to connect it to the right Slack account. And I'm going to hit more options and put a star icon here with those 2 dots and end of day report, and put their name in there. User. We want to select the responsible, select their name. So in Slack, it's going to say end of day report with their name. And then what I can do is add in the notes from the report. I can add in their income, boom, live calls they took, boom, sales, scheduled, that sort of stuff. And then I'm just going to link it back to the KPI dashboard. So I can easily see their end of day report, what they need support with, all of that stuff. And boom. And then link it back here so I can actually see the data, the trending data over time. So here we go. KPI dashboard. Boom. And then let's see. Boom. If we can do this end of EOD report, team EOD channel. Sweet. I'll show you how that works. Team EOD report, Slack automation. Sweet. I'm going to turn that on. And now every time that form is submitted, we'll get an update. So let me show you. Let's go here, share form, copy link, and fingers crossed I can show you inside of Slack. Here, 13th, this is inside of August. I'm responsible, income $50,000, live sales calls 6, sales calls scheduled, let's go with 7, and units sold, let's go with 5. And let's actually change the date to a previous date. Closed deals. I'm proud of closing those deals and close more deals tomorrow. Cool. I'm going to submit. And then I can submit another response if I missed a previous day. And let me see. No, I don't think Slack will open up when I'm using Loom, but that was just sent over to my EOD reports channel. And it updated the data inside of here. So let me view data. And we can see, boom, on the data side, that's in there. And then on the interface side as well, boom, we can see the income went up, the show percentage went up, the close percentage, and the units sold. We can see the new EOD came in. So things I can add here are responsible. Let me add notes. Let me add calls scheduled. Let me add units sold. Boom. And then I can open these up. And let's turn this into a pill. And let's go to the one that was most recent. So I'm going to sort this by date, latest, open this up, and you'll be able to see my notes in there from the end of day report. Or you should. I need to double check that. But cool. Getting that going. Let me think of what else would be super helpful for you guys. Got that. Cool. Here we go. Let me call this number KPI dashboard. Sweet. We got this. Cool. Let's clean this up. KPI trends by month. Boom. We can open it up on this side. Sweet. And go into that individual data as well. Boom. And boo. Let's go in here. Let's say I want to see responsible over here. I want to sort this by most recent. boom. And maybe I want to have a different view, boom, and group this by who submitted it. So I can group it by who's responsible and see that stuff right there. So, boom, man. Let's take off the emoji. Responsible. Boom. All right. So we just created a KPI dashboard and forms and interface and automations in about 20 minutes here. And I'll shoot another video on the automated population of the data. Just know it's a Zapier N8N automation and it works the exact same. If you enjoyed this, if this was helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you need more help on this, get it up faster and really scale your business and develop the best systems possible, there's a link in the description down below. We've helped tons of people like these people who are awesome scale their coaching business or agency. But that's about it for this one, and I will see you in the next one.